This video is about exporting images from the Zeiss CZI file format into TIF using ZEN Blue. If you need a copy of ZEN Blue, we have the last version of ZEN Blue that could be installed from a single file format, or a single file is the 3.4 version, which can do what we'll see here today. If you want to, you have the most recent version. Zeiss has a bit more convoluted installation process. And with any software, if you're installing it on a university computer, you'll probably need help from IT support to get it installed. Why ZEN Blue? If you're using one of the confocals, you're probably using ZEN Black. We've been told by Zeiss support that ZEN Blue is much better at exporting files than ZEN Black is. So that's why we're doing that. So I have ZEN Blue 3.5 open here. And I'm going to start by opening an image. Here's an image that I took. It's just a wide field image. And in the ZEN Blue, you have the processing tab, and you can do things like an image export using a single file. The beauty of ZEN Blue is you can also do this as a batch. So let's go to batch files, and we'll go over some of these things in batch mode. In batch mode, what you need to do is add probably the contents of an entire folder. So let's go to add, and we're going to take all of these files and open them. I'm going to select the first one, and I've already gone into now batch method. I want to pick the image export, and then I want to go to the parameters. And I'm going to choose that I want to send it to TIF. If these, for some reason, are large files, you may want to choose Big TIF. I would not recommend JPEG or most of the other file formats for export, but TIF is pretty standard. So let's pick TIF. We have the option to convert it to 8-bit. If you're using a camera or a system that has higher bit depths, you might want to downsize the file a little bit, or you can turn that off. It's not a bad idea to do the LZW file compression. That's not a lossy compression like JPEG is, but you can also choose none. If you need to resize the images, you can do that here as you're setting things up. If you choose original data, actually not sure what shift pixel means, but that will give you the raw data, or you can apply your display curve that you've perhaps set up in ZEN when you've looked at the image. I'm going to stick with the original data and turn the display curve off. And it will use the channel names, either how you've named them in the software based on a color or a fluorophore name, or it will just simply give it channel names like channel 00, channel 01. And you can actually define a subset. So if I change that to that, I can say, okay, I only want the DAPI and the GFP, or I want the DAPI and the GFP. I don't want the Psi3. I can turn that off. And when it exports it, it will give you 2 channels instead of 3. So that's an option. You can go to a region, so you can do the full region, or you can crop it. If you had a Z stack, you could pick the range in the Z stack, and you can also export selected tiles. This is a single image, so it's not going to give you as many of those sort of options. So we're just going to use the full set of dimensions, and I'm not going to subset it. So I've made that configuration for this first file, the one that's in the light gray. Now if I right-click on it and I copy the parameters and I select the rest of them using shift-click, if I paste the parameters, now it's going to export them all using the parameters that I set up for the first one. And I can use the input folder as the output folder, or I could change that. Then I can change it. and I can go into data, user data, Chromie. I'm going to make a new folder and I'm going to call it export. And now if I say apply, it's working on that. And in the meantime, I'm going to the data drive, user data, Chromie, export. And each one of those images has exported except for the first one. Darn it. I should have selected that one when I pasted it, but you can see I left it out of that. So that's my fault. And within there we have channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. So there you go. It's the easy way to export to TIFF and to do it for bulk images.